everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we're gonna start off by obviously moisturizing the lips with this bomb ass lip balm I got at Sephora. And I'm gonna actually do the face first this time. So we will be going in with a Kat Von D Lock It Hydrating Primer. And we're just gonna clearly rub this all over the face with our hands, make sure they're clean obviously. We are gonna color correct because as you guys can see I have a little bit of imperfections going on here. So we're gonna color correct the ones that are a bit red with green obviously to color correct that, and obviously the darker tones we're going to brighten with the purple, and I will just be blending all this out with my finger. And I actually opted to use my finger because the beauty blender, I tried it and it kind of took away the product, and I kind of want to make sure I conceal all of that out, so I don't want to take the product away. I want to make sure it stays there just so I could put my foundation over it. And the foundation that we will be using today is my ultra favorite, the Makeup Forever HD stick. And I love this because it's not super ultra coverage. I mean, you could make it ultra coverage, but you know, you have to kind of layer it on. But with one layer, it's like more than enough for me personally. And for this, obviously, I will use my damp beauty blender. Do not use the beauty blender dry. You're not going to get nowhere with it dry. I always damp it and take out that excess water and just use it just like that. So as you guys already know, I don't really like a lot of coverage on my forehead, so I'm kind of just like gliding it through with a little bit of product. And for my under eye, I do want full coverage for that, so I will be using my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. And at the moment, it is my fave because my under eyes have been a little darker than usual, you know, no sleep status. I am using my finger to apply just to get the most out of my product. Today, I will actually be cream contouring, and I'll be using the Graftobian foundation. It's like a little palette, great for like starting makeup artists or anything because it has perfect coverage. It goes from medium to full depending on how you build it up, and it's so blendable. Like, it is the most blendable foundation you will find in comparison to like the Makeup Forever. It's like the best. And as you can see, I am applying this as well with my finger just because I'm not trying to waste any product with brushes. And I feel like sometimes brushes just don't give you that same coverage as if you just grab it from the pot straight to the face and make sure you get all that coverage straight on there. And another reason why I actually felt like cream contouring is because I felt like going very minimal on powder today. So when I do cream contour, I don't use as much powder to bronze or to contour in general with powders obviously. It's just a very more natural kind of lightweight look. And speaking about natural, let's go to something that's not natural. Layering on some more concealer, and this one is the Naked Skin by Urban Decay. Also another one of my favorites. It's not maybe as full coverage as the Pro Longwear, but it does its job. It does a perfect job. And I will be blending all of this out with my damp beauty blender again. You want to make sure it's damp and not dry, because if it is dry, you will not be able to blend everything as seamlessly as if it were wet. So as you guys could see, I did fast forward through the whole process, but only because, like I said, it is an actual process, blending everything out and making sure everything looks nice, smooth, and seamless. I did fast forward it for the same fact that I didn't want to skip through anything, so you guys could actually see how everything little by little is blending out. Make sure you don't leave any harsh edges or lines or anything, just to make sure it doesn't look blotchy afterwards. So as you guys already know, I tend to normally leave my concealer towards the end only because I am a creasy mess, unfortunately. I wish I wasn't, but I am. So what can we do about it now? Botox, huh? Well, now I'm going to pinch the beauty blender just to make sure I blend out that nose contour nice and seamlessly, because if you don't pinch it, it's kind of just going to be blotchy and pretty pointless of the whole process of contouring the nose to make sure it's more snatched and appear thinner. I will be going in with that same beauty blender one last time all over the face, make sure everything's nice and blended. To set the face and under eye, I will be using some Laura Mercier translucent powder with that same beauty blender. And to prime my lids, I will be using MAC's Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and I'll apply this with my finger, and I will be setting it with a Morphe E20 brush and my Lancome face powder. I kind of like the powder only because it kind of gave me a very good coverage on my lid, and it's not that thick, so it's perfect just for an all over the lid. For brows, I will be going into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer in the color Chocolate. This little brow pencil is very convenient since it does have a spoolie on the other end. It does put in work. I will be brushing my eyebrows upward just to kind of place that product first, I will be zooming through this process because it is the longest process I think I take throughout my whole face. Oh well, you know, you gotta make sure they come out good. And remember, brows are sisters, not twins. So obviously you're not gonna have that perfect defined brow. They're not gonna look exactly the same, and there is no problem with that because, like I said, they're sisters, not twins. To clean up the brows, I will be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer in 1.0. I love this concealer for under the brows. It has the right consistency. It's not watery enough up to the point where the concealer kind of goes all over the place. I do like to take my time and kind of sharpening out that brow, making sure it has a good shape on it. Now for the star of the show, the Androgyny palette by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I will be going into this perfect, beautiful color. The color name is Charm. As you guys know, I am obsessed with these type of colors. The orange, warm tone, anything warm tone, I'm just kind of like obsessed, you know? The brush that I am using is a Smith 232 brush. It is a perfect little blending brush, as you guys could see. I am going in slightly with a little bit of color towards the crease and moving that color upward, making sure I really blend that one out because the look that I am going for is more of a grungy kind of like spread out look. So I will be kind of bringing it downward also under my lower lash line, just to kind of bring that whole look together. And then you guys can see I'm kind of going to be all over the place with this one a little bit, so excuse me for that, but just doing the exact same thing I did on the other eye, making sure I blend it into the crease, bringing it upward, and then bringing it under the lash line. That's kind of a tongue twister right there. And just working my way through it. So grabbing a little bit of Charm, and then obviously, like I said, working your way upward, and also working your way upward with the pigmentation of the color. These shadows, fortunately, are extremely blendable and pigmented. To kind of blend the top of that color that we had just placed, we will be going in with a Dose of Colors little blending brush, just to kind of make sure there's no harsh edges up there. Make sure everything's nice and blended out because we are going for a very smoked out look. The next brush we will be going in with is a Morphe M433 brush and the color Dominatrix. Can I just say I fell in love with this color once I applied it? I mean, the pigmentation, the way it blends, just everything in general about this color is perfect. The actual color, it's like a brown kind of like, I don't even know how to explain my colors. This is ridiculous. It's just a perfect little everyday type of color, if you will, with any type of look that you might want to add it to. And I will be doing the same process, blending it all over the crease. Well, actually, I will be going and bringing it only halfway towards the crease. I don't want to get it all the way in. I will be going back in with that same Smith Cosmetics brush because I want to make sure everything's nice and blended out. Like I said, smoked, blended out. I will be going back in with the Dose of Colors blending brush as well. I will be blending like there's no tomorrow throughout this process, clearly. Here we go again, blending another color. We're blending Charm under the eye. I just decided that I wanted to add it right now. So that way I could just tie everything together instead of adding it afterwards and having to go through that trouble of blending it more. The little brush that I am using right there is a Bedazzling Tools 781. And I'm basically just putting Charm all over the under eye. I am putting it a little lower than the usual, only because I am going to go in with more color. Like I said, I want it to be more spreaded, more grungy, more, you know, out there. I am putting a little extra translucent powder under my eye just to make sure there is, if there is any fallout, which there actually wasn't, which I'm very happy about these shadows. I kind of just put it there and blended out the little edges just to make sure that that same translucent powder doesn't kind of like cut out anything, because I want it to be all just kind of like rounded out, no sharp edges, nothing. So I will be going in with a little small Morphe M326 brush and some Dominatrix just to kind of deepen in that lower lash line, and doing the same process for the eye. Again, only bringing it in halfway in towards the eye, smoking out only the outer edge of the eye with that same Morphe M43 brush. So as you can see, everything tying together, making sure I go a little bit lower, rounding everything out. The main color on the lid I will be using is called Deja Vu, and I will be grabbing a little Morphe M322 brush and just applying this little by little, kind of adding the color. I could have used my finger for more additional pigmentation, but I kind of just wanted to go easy and just use a brush. I didn't want anything a little too exaggerating. Very just mild it in. Like I said, just going back in, adding product, going back in, adding product until I get the color pigmentation that I want. I'm guessing all the color kind of affected my lighting, so I will be looking a little orange, so I apologize for that. As you can see, I will be going back in with a little bit of Dominatrix just to make sure I have Deja Vu and Dominatrix kind of like blended together. And I will be wiping off all that excessive translucent powder. I mean, there wasn't really any fallout, but I mean, better to be safe than sorry. So I cleaned off that same Morphe 322 brush, M322, and grabbing some frosting, which that's the name of the color that I'm actually placing in the inner tear duct. And I will be placing some MAC Feline liner under the line, in the waterline, making sure I tight line my eye and everything. I will be using the Hoola bronzer and a Dose of Colors all over blending brush, which is a buffer brush. And I will be just placing a little bit of this bronzing powder. Like I said, I cream contoured, so there's no need for a lot of bronzing powder. I was already a bit bronzed because of the cream contour, obviously. And I will be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder contour, and I'll just be using one color, and the color is Fawn. And I will be using a Smith Cosmetics brush in 112, just placing it in the kind of the hollows of my cheekbones to, you know, make it a little bit more defined, help a sister out, and make me look a bit thinner. I will be using the color Banana of that same contour kit, and a Sigma tapered highlighter brush. It's the F35 and just kind of like cleaning up the contour, making sure it's like kind of like, you know, sharp. To highlight, I will be going into Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Sun Dipped, and I will be going into Summer, Moonstone, and Tourmaline. I will also be using an Anastasia Beverly Hills brush in A23. And going into my blush, it will be the MAC Cosmetics Peaches, my favorite blush. And the blush brush is the Bedazzle Tools 942 brush. And the liner is a ColourPop Gucci collaboration in the color K. And I did use MAC Cosmetics Smith. That, ladies and gentlemen, completes today's look. I hope you guys like and enjoy this video. I hope you guys comment down below, leave me any requests, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.